might not know who I am. Thank you very much for your introduction. I am Councillor Lisa Robinson of the City of Pickering. I have now gone 21 months without pay. That's almost 2 years that the city has held my pay back. And I'll give you a couple examples, a few reasons of why they held my pay back in the first place. One was because I said that we should only be flying governmental flags on governmental buildings. And of course, also, you know what, on top of that, we would be flying the Veterans flag and the Poppies flag. Another thing that I did was that I said that every man, woman, boy, and girl should have the right to choose a biological bathroom or the right to choose a universal washroom or change room that would be inclusive of all genders and or families. I lost pay for saying that. Another reason why I lost pay was because I had said that we should have age restrictions on Pride events and on drag queen story time. We should have age restrictions, of course. Yes. Another thing was that I said, if I was to become mayor, I would use the strong mayor's powers for good. I would go into City Hall, I would get rid of the CAO, the city solicitor, and a bunch of the directors, because corruption does start at the top. I would tear down City Hall, build it back up from the bottom, and give it back to the people. I lost 3 months' pay for that one comment alone, and they said that I was harassing and intimidating them. So everything I do is I'm harassing, I'm intimidating, I'm a transphobic, I'm homophobic, I'm racist, I'm alt-right, I'm everything wrapped up right here in this little package. Sasquatch. Right? I'm Sasquatch perhaps. But you know, I've been in my council meetings and they lie. You know, staff is giving a report. They literally sit there and they lie to council and they lie to you, the people. I call them out, I tell them that they're lying, and I've got the proof to show it, and of course, I lose pay again because I call them out for lying, that I am harassing staff or I'm intimidating staff. So this is what happens when you start speaking your truth. When you start standing up for the people, you speak the truth, they will come at you with every possible thing that they can. And they will try and destroy you. They even went as far, the mayor actually sent an email out to everybody asking the other councillors, would you guys vote to take away our benefits package from any councillor who is on suspension of pay? Which means he was trying to take away my car allowance, my cell phone, my internet, my security for my house. This is the type of people that are in politics right now. And this is why things have to change in politics. It's absolutely disgusting. And this is happening at the municipal level. It gets worse as you get to the provincial or if you get to the federal level. I mean, look at what just happened. You know, we just had a conservative guy cross the floor.
There'll be more.
And there will be more. And that was the second one. And you know what? They should lose their job. They lied to every single person out there for a crime. If they want to cross the floor, they should have to relinquish their seat and let a by-election come in and see if they get elected that way. They should not be doing this to the people. So again, you know what? I just want to thank Peter very much for your leadership, your courage, and your refusal to back down when it would be easier for you just to stay quiet as well. So thank you. And big round of applause for Peter, shall we? I also want to thank every People's Party of Canada leader, volunteer, and supporter that is here tonight. Because many of you have done something that most Canadians never see. You've put your lives on hold to defend democracy in this country. And I thank each and every one of you for standing up. You sacrificed your time with your families. You delayed careers. You've endured ridicule, threats, and smears. Not because it was comfortable, not because it was convenient, but because, as we all know, it's necessary. History is shaped by people who step forward when others stay silent. And that's who each and every one of us are that's in this room tonight. As you know, I'm an elected official and I've not been paid for almost 2 years. Not because I failed my constituents, as you can see. Not because I broke the law and not because I was corrupt. But because I refused to comply. Every single time I have lost my pay, there's been 8 different times now, and of course I'm still working, and I have to work, because if I don't, then I end up relinquishing my position, so I have to work. So I'm working for free. But every single time that they've come after me, it's because it's been a complaint from the mayor, the CAO, or my fellow colleagues on council. It's not the people that are censoring me. It's not the people that want to have my pay taken away. It's my colleagues, because they are afraid of me. So I refuse to repeat lies. I refuse to vote the way that I was told. It's always a 6-1 vote in my council. Guess who's the one? And that's how the modern day system enforces obedience. Not with tanks in the streets, but with financial punishment, with isolation, with censorship, and with character assassinations. They don't need to jail you anymore if they know that they can break you. And here's what people really need to understand. Corruptions in politics rarely starts with evil people. It starts with people who compromise their values. A quiet favor here, a vote traded for protection over here, a lie justified for the greater good. It takes a rare kind of strength and a moral strength to say no to these things. I don't need to be broke right now. I could be off jet setting somewhere. I can have so much money in my bank account, but I cannot be bought. And that's the difference between me and my colleagues. To walk away from comfort, to walk away from protection, to walk straight into the storm with your integrity intact. And while politicians argue and posture, something far more dangerous is happening. They're starting to legislate silence. Censorship bills dressed up as safety, speech controls disguised as harm reduction, online regulations sold as protection to each and every one of us. These laws are not about stopping crime. They're about stopping you, the people. Stopping dissent, stopping the parents, stopping whistleblowers, stopping truth before it spreads. A government that fears speech is a government that knows it cannot survive honesty. And look at what this silence has allowed. Look at what's being done to our children. Children medicalized before they can consent. Children taught ideology instead of biology. Children told that their country is something to be ashamed of. And children exposed to material no adult would tolerate in their workplace. Parents have been sidelined, teachers have been silenced, and questions have now been punished. This didn't happen overnight, guys. It happened because too many good people were told to sit down, stay quiet, and trust the process. But here's the truth. If you don't defend children, you do not have a future. Every civilization that sacrifices its children for ideology has collapsed. Every single one of them. I've been called everything, as I said, a racist, transphobic, homophobic, Nazi, alt-right, extremist, conspiracy theorist, and they actually say that I am a danger to democracy. Okay, I'm the only one fighting for democracy. They've thrown every label that you can find because labels are easier than the truth. They tried to shame me, they tried to isolate me, they tried to silence me, they tried to punish me financially and professionally, so others would fall in line behind me. And we see that happening. We see a lot of people filing in line. You know, what is it that they say? Anyone know about that? Good men that don't do anything? What's the line? Come on, someone.
Good men, good times.
For evil to succeed, good men.
Okay, awesome.
Good men, good times.
But anyways, I'm still here after everything that's happened to me. Thank you. truth, and I am not going to stop fighting. I didn't get into politics to be liked or to make friends. In fact, one of the very first things that the city clerk had said to me was, Lisa, these people are not your friends. Seriously, because she had already seen all the chatter that was going on behind the back as soon as I stepped on and I started speaking the truth and trying to make change for the people. So she was right, because politics is not a popularity contest. It's a test of one's character, in my opinion. Too many people want to be popular, but really it's a test of your character. What kind of a person you really are when the going gets tough. Are you going to cave? Are you going to go along with the crowd? Or are you going to stand your truth with your morals and your integrity? They were right. I had an acquaintance say to me, he once said something to me which I will never ever forget. And he said, Lisa, he goes, you won't just survive the storm, you're going to become the storm. And that's what I've done. I have now become the storm. I walk into a room, they're sitting there, they know I'm going to answer questions. You can hear the fire department going, here she comes. Seriously, you can catch everything on these mics. You have no idea how afraid they are that when I speak, when I start asking my questions, they can't stand it, because I ask questions. I do my research every time. With every single agenda I get, it could be this big. And if I only have 3 days to read it, I'm going to do everything I can to read that. And then I'm going to pull my questions from that agenda. When I start asking questions, they don't have the answers. They don't have the answers. How can somebody write an agenda, try to pass a bylaw, pass a law, when they do not have the answers to my questions? And they're like, oh, don't worry, Councillor Robinson, we'll get it to you. It's like, well, we're voting on it tonight. How can I, in all good conscience, vote for something when I don't have all the answers there in front of me? Because I'm not a follower like everybody else. And that's why we are in this problem that we're in. My city council, I'm not sure if you guys are aware or not, but if a city council decides that they're going to pass some kind of a bylaw or a new policy, we actually send correspondence to all the other municipalities once a week. So every Friday, I get a blue bag sent to my house, and it will have so many papers in it of other municipalities all across Ontario, what they've passed. So now, for example, City of Pickering, we passed that delegates could no longer speak for 10 minutes. They could only speak for 5 minutes. So we cut their delegation times in half. At the same time, we also said that nobody could record in our chambers anymore. That means you can't have a cell phone out and record the chambers. You cannot record our meetings anymore. We also don't allow to have the media in our chambers anymore unless we have a mover, a seconder, and we have 2/3 of the vote to allow a member of the press to stay there and record our meetings. You see how corrupt that is? And I can tell you, I have been looking over a lot of the videos that we have on YouTube for the City of Pickering. I've seen time jumps, I've seen white noise, and they're editing it. And I mean, they're going to say no, they're not editing. But I mean, you can watch. You can watch any council meeting. You see there, you see people clapping, and there's no sound. I mean, they're actually editing everything, and thinking that we're stupid. They also don't want anyone from outside of the City of Pickering speaking in our chambers anymore. Even though we have 3 members of council who sit at the Durham region, and then we have the mayor who also sits at the Durham region. Because they're afraid of the people. The people started showing up at our council meetings and started saying, Mayor, with all due respect, but you're acting like a dictator. And they didn't like that. So then they started having this fear-mongering going on, and they started paying for 4 police officers to come to our meetings. And we also have our own security. But what they did, even if there's only 20 people at a council meeting, Durham Region, out of the goodness of their hearts, sent an extra 10 police officers, pulled them off of the streets when they should be working, and in Durham we have so many problems right now with human trafficking. There's so many, we've had murders, so many murders now in Pickering this year, but they're actually pulling the the police officers who should be doing their job on the streets to come and sit in our council meeting because they're afraid that somebody is going to call them a dictator. Okay? This is what's happening. And it got so bad, well, they said it was so bad, was that we had to move our council meetings online. So we don't even do in-person council meetings anymore. Guys, you cannot come to the house and speak your mind in front of your elected representatives. We're all online, so I'm constantly, now the mic's being turned off, of course, and sometimes even my screen goes off, right? But that's what's happening. And they're saying it's because of fear, because of the alt-right people that have penetrated Pickering, which is parents. Parents are coming. Concerned citizens are coming. They don't like it, so that's what they've done. But as they decide to talk about this full, fear narrative, the mayor's wife was present at our meetings. His 2 daughters were present at his meetings. And his 8-year-old granddaughter was present at our meetings. And they're afraid. So if you're really afraid, do you think you would be bringing your loved ones to a council meeting? Of course not. No, of course not. Also, at our council meetings, we also, before, anyone could come and speak to anything that they wanted to, as long as you gave 10 days notice before a council meeting. So, for example, if you want to come and talk about cats, and let's say you want a cat park, you had every right to do that, as long as you gave us 10 days notice. Now, if you want to come and talk about a cat park, you have to get a mover, you have to get a seconder, and you have to get 2/3 again of us as councillors to allow you to come and speak about a cat park. So if we don't like the topic that you're talking about, you don't get to speak to us anymore. You are not allowed to stand in our council chambers and have your say. So now, as I was saying, this little magic blue container that I get every single week, well, everything that I just mentioned to you right there, stuff like that now gets circulated to all the other municipalities, and they pick it up. A council will pick it up and go, look what they've done to the city of Pickering. They don't allow their public to speak there anymore. Or, wait a minute, they dropped the delegation down to from 10 minutes to 5 minutes. Let's adopt that. All of a sudden they have a council meeting, they put it on their agenda, and boom, it is adopted. If you see how it's happening in all the different municipalities right now, this is how it's happening. We send correspondence to every municipality. We send our information to the provincial government. We send it to the federal government. Whatever it is that we want to send, we send it. And that's how things are snowballing in every single municipality. And you see it happening pretty much simultaneously all at the same time. Okay? It's sickening what I found out in politics. I always knew politics was dirty. I just didn't realize how dirty it was. So as I was saying, if you want to change this country, we have to start now. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for a title. And don't wait for it to be comfortable. Because it is never going to be comfortable. You got to get out there. You got to knock on doors. Help people knock on doors. You got to make videos. Even if your hands are shaking, if your voice is shaking, get out there. Start speaking. Who cares if you screw up a word? Look, I've stumbled a couple of times today. Do you think that's going to stop me? Not a chance. Just get out there and do it. Write opinion pieces if you want to. Challenge the school boards. Show up at council meetings. Become the person that people are going to trust when the media is lying to you. Because leadership does not begin with a nomination. Leadership begins with courage. You don't wake people up by yelling at them. You wake people up by standing firm when it costs you something. When you lose your friends. When you lose your comfort. When you lose your income. and you still refuse to lie and bow to them. That's when you become a leader. So tonight I want to thank each and every one of you. Thank you for speaking up. Thank you for standing behind those who speak up. And thank you for refusing to be intimidated. And thank you for loving Canada enough that you're fighting for it. Because Canada does not belong to the bureaucrats. It does not belong to the global interests. It does not belong to the political elites. Canada belongs to you, the people. And as long as there are Canadians that are willing to stand, to speak up, and to sacrifice, this country is not going to be lost. God bless each and every one of you in the room for your courage and for being here tonight. And God bless your resolve. Thank you.